Hello students, welcome to distance learning with Nitendra Acharya. This is the fourth part of algebraic expression, and if you have missed other three parts, then you can check on the description. There will be link for those videos. And so in this video, factorization of trinomial of form ax squared plus minus bx plus minus c. Now, what is a? A actually is coefficient of x squared or any term with degree 2. Okay, this is the term with degree 2, and there is a contradiction. Okay, there is a contradiction. Let's complete this and we will talk about that contradiction. And b is the coefficient of x or any term with degree b is the coefficient of x or any term with degree 1. Okay, this is the degree of this term, only this term. If you consider only this term, then this degree is 1, degree 1, and c is constant. And there is a contradiction. There is a huge contradiction. And c is a constant. We don't have to worry about it. It's just a number. It's a constant. And what if the question is in the form ax square plus 3ax square plus 2a minus 1? What if the question is in the form 3a square plus 2a plus 1? And now what will be the value of a? The value of a definitely will be 3. Okay, the value of a will be 3, and value of b will be 2, and c will be constant term, and c is equal to minus 1. So here you don't have to be confused, because question can be asked as as in the form of x, and the form of y, in the form of b. You can, in the form of p also, the question may be asked like this: 3p square, here p square plus 2p minus 1. Here there is no x, so a is the coefficient of, we have learned that a is the coefficient of x square, but here is, we can see x here. So here also you have to assume that these are the variable, isn't it? They are dummy. They can be x also, they can be a also, they can be b also. They are like dummies. So value of a here also will be 3, the value of b will be 2, and value of c will be minus 1. So no need to get confused, but there will be a huge confusion in the case if the question is given in the form like 3x squared and minus plus 2xy and minus 1y square, or only simply y square. If the question is given in this form, that we have learned that c is a constant, but there is no term which is constant, isn't it? So here also no need to get confused. You can just assume that the question is asked as ax square and plus bxy minus, and or we can say plus cy square. You can easily find the value of a, b, and c. A will be 3, b will be 2, and c will be minus 1. So no need to get confused. You can assume like this also. Okay. So what does this type of equation are called? This type of equation are called ax square plus bx plus minus c is a quadratic equation. Any equation with degree 1 is called linear equation, with degree 2 is called quadratic equation, and degree 3 is called cubic equation. Okay, so this is the quadratic equation. It's the factorization of trinomial or factorization of quadratic equation. You can say, okay, the student, I think you won't get confused. Now if we see this type of question on your exercise, that what will be the value of a, what will be the value of b, and what will be the value of c. So let's not get confused. Okay, Now there is an interesting thing. The given equation, we can see the given equation ax square plus minus bx plus c. Now the product of AC is A into C. Now if there will be number, then we will get a single value. But right here you have to understand that product of A and C is just AC. Now suppose let P is equal to AC, and now after we suppose P is equal to AC, we don't take the negative value. If there is negative value, if the product of AC, this AC is negative also, we are not going to consider that negative sign. To make it P, to consider it P, to suppose it P, we suppose only positive value of AC. Okay, so P is always positive. And then we have to find two numbers. And let us suppose they are x1 and x2. Our two numbers are x1 and x2, as there is a condition. How can we find those two numbers? There will be a condition. We have to find the two numbers in such a way that the product of two numbers will definitely be P. The product of two numbers will be definitely P. If it's not written here, but it will be P. x1 dot x2 will be P. The value of x1 dot x2 will always be P. And as I have already said, P is always positive. The product of x1 dot x2 is P. But there is another case also. There is two cases. And let's consider the first case. One, if the product AC is positive. Okay, just listen carefully. So if the product AC is positive, then B will be equal to this value B. Right here it's B. This value B will be equal to sum S of x1 and x2. So B will be equal to sum of two numbers. The two numbers are x1 and x2, such that x1 plus x2 is equal to B is equal to S. And this S or this B always takes positive sign. And product x1 dot x2 will always be P and also positive. And we always consider the bigger number as x1 and the smaller number as x2. Now understand this line very clearly, that if the product of AC is positive, then we have to find two numbers in such a way that their sum will be equal to value of B. The sum must be equal to value of B. Listen carefully. The sum of two numbers, we have to find two numbers in such a way that their sum must be equal to value of B, and product will be P. Product will be if their product, the product of two number x1 and x2 must be P, and sum must be B. Sum must be B. Okay. And if it is negative, see, if the product AC is negative, then B will be equal to difference of x1, difference D of x1 and x2, such that x1 minus x2 is equal to B. And this difference will also be positive. These values all take positive sign. So we don't consider any negative sign, as x1 will always be bigger. So x1 is bigger, that means as x1 is bigger, then it will always be positive, isn't it? Now here you understand this also very clearly. If the product of AC is negative, then we have to find two numbers in such a way that their difference will be equal to B. Their difference will be equal to B. The difference of two numbers will be equal to B, and we call it D, and the product will be P. We have to find two numbers in such a way that the product of two numbers must be P, and their difference must be B. Okay. Now, if you have understood this, then there is a note for you. A note: PSD, all PSD will always take positive sign. We don't consider negative sign here. We only consider negative sign just for once. Okay. If AC is negative, then only we set our condition that we have to find two number. If AC is negative, then we have to find two number that their product will be P. The product will be P, and their difference will be B. The value, the coefficient of x, that is B, must be the difference of two number if the product of AC is negative. Now it's very simple. If we summarize it, then if AC is positive, then we have to find S and P and if AC is negative, we have to find D difference. D means difference of two number, D and P, difference of two number. And as we have supposed x1 and x2 as our two number, that x1 plus x2 will be equal to value of B, and B positive B. Okay, if there is negative sign also we consider positive, and x1 minus x2, always write the bigger number in front, is equal to B. Here in this case it is B, and the product x1 dot x2 must be P, x1 dot x2 must be P in both cases. Now let's do a few examples, then it will be very clear. And let's practice when you can see when A is equal to 1 and C is equal to 3, B is equal to 4, we have to find the two number x1 and x2. Okay, let's first find the product. Now what we have to do, first thing we have to do is we have to find the product of AC. If it is positive, then remember, we have to find two numbers such that x1 plus x2 is equal to B. S or B, you can say, you can omit that S. Okay, that x1 plus x2 is equal to S, which will be equal to, definitely will be equal to B. Now let's see here. The first thing we have to find the product of AC, that is 1 into 3, that is positive. Now what we have to do is our P and S, there will be P and S. The P will be x1 dot x2, our two number are x1 and x2, and S will be sum. S means sum. Okay, we have to find sum x1. S represent only sum x1 dot x2, which will be equal to P. Now let's see, let x1 and x2 be such that x1 dot x2 is equal to P, which is equal to 3. Now it always take the positive part, and x1 and x2 is equal to S is equal to this is the value of B, isn't it? S means sum. Okay, don't get confused. S means sum, this is sum, x1 plus x2 is sum. So sum will be 4, and 4 is from where we took 4 is the value of B. Now let's create a table, a product table and sum column, product and sum column. Now how can we get 3? First, always remember this thing, that you have to start from 1. You have always have to start from 1. That 1 into 3 is 3, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So see, while we add these two numbers 1 and 3, we get the sum 4, and in very first step we get our two numbers, that is x1 is equal to 3, always bigger number first, and x2 is equal to 1. Our two numbers are 3 and 1. Our product was 3 and the two numbers are, and sum was 4. We have to find two numbers whose product is 3 and sum is 4, and our two number is 3 and 1, isn't it? Now let's check it. Let's multiply 3 and 1. What we get? We get the product 3. Let's add 3 and 1. What we get? We get the sum 4. Now see, if we practice more this type of question, then it will be very easy while we do other exercise. Let's practice another question also. Now see, we have A, B and C, value of A, B and C. First thing we have to do is we have to find the product of A and C. And let's find the product of A and C first. AC is equal to 1 into 30, which is minus negative 30. That is negative. Now what we have to do is we have to find two numbers. That two numbers are x and y. Our two numbers must be in such a way that their product is, let x1 and x, their product will be 30, always positive sign, p takes always positive sign, and their difference is 7, value of b. It must be value of b. And x1 minus x2 is equal to d is equal to 7. Now let's create a table with two columns where there is product p is 30, and always remember we have to start with 1. Now 1 into 30 is 30. 1 into 30 is 30, but the difference of 30 and 1 is 29. We have to find 7, and there is 29. So these two are 30 and 1 are not our two numbers. Now let's check with 2. If it goes with 2, then we have to check with 2. The 2 into 15 is also 30, and 15 minus 2 is not 7. It is 13, isn't it? So we have to find 2. So These are also not our two numbers. Now let's check with 3. 3 into 10 is also 30, and 10 minus 3 is 7. So this is our D, isn't it? This is our B, this is our D. D means difference, as S means sum. Here D means difference, and the value of D will be always B. Value of B. Now value of B is 7, so value of D is also 7. So don't get confusion with all these letters, okay? You just have to remember that we have to find the difference of two numbers, and the value of the value of difference must be equal to B. Now our two number is 10 and 3. So bigger number always first, so 10 and 3. So you can pause the video and you can note it down on your copy, and let's practice. When a is equal to 3, b is equal to minus 11. Okay, b is minus 11, but we don't have to worry about it. Okay, we always take positive value here. Now product is negative, so what we have to do is we have to find p as x1 dot x2, and that must be equal to positive 60, and we have to find d, that is because as it is negative, then we have to find d minus x2. Then this d will be equal to b, and b always with positive sign, that means 11. So x1 minus x2 will be 11, and x1 dot x2 will be 60. Now let's find two number. X1 and x2 be such that the product is p equal to 30, which we have already written, and this is equal to 11. From where this 11 came, it's the value of b, and we always take positive. Now x1 dot x2 is equal to p. There are two columns, product, and we have difference column, and we have to find two numbers. Their product will be 60 and their difference will be 11. Let's see which are the two numbers. And first we have to try with 1. 1 into 60 is equal to 60, but 60 minus 1 is 59. We have to find 11. So next will be 2. If it goes with 2, then we have to do with 2. 2 into 30 is also 60, but 30 minus 2 is 28. So it's not our number. They are not our number. And 3 into 20 is also 60, but 20 minus 3 is 17. This is not our number. These are not our number. 4 into 15 is 60, and 15 minus 4 is 11. We need 11, and we have 11 right now. So this is our answer, and these are our numbers. This is x1 and this is x2. X1 and x2. Therefore, you can see x1 is equal to 15 and x2 is equal to 4. It is the way to find the two numbers, and hope you understood. Let's move forward. Let's practice at another question. AC is minus 42. Then what we have to do is we have to find P such that x1, two numbers x1, we have supposed two number to be x1 and x2, it will be equal to 42. Okay, two number will be 42. It always take positive sign, and as it is negative, you can see here negative. Then we have to find difference, that will be x1 minus x2 will be equal to value of b, that is 1. Okay, now what we have to do is this. Now you can see here, which we have already written here, and this 1 is the value of b. Now let's construct a table with two columns where there is product and difference. Product is 42 and difference is 1. We have to check with 1. 1 into 42 is 42, but 42 minus 1 is 41. So this is not our. These are not our numbers. 2 and into 21 is also 42. 21 minus 2 is 19. This is also not our number. We have to find 1, and we have to check with 3 also. 3 into 14 is also 42, and 14 minus 3 is 11. This is not our number. So it does not go. 42 does not go with 4, so we have to omit 4. We have to ignore 4. 42 does not go with 5, so we ignore 5. We ignore 4. We ignore 5, and 42 goes with 6. So we will do with 6 right now. 6 into 7 is 42. And 7 minus 6 is always bigger number first. 7 minus 6 is 1. So this is our required numbers. These are our required numbers. 7 and 6 are our required numbers. So therefore, it's a very easy process, isn't it? Interesting process also. X1 is equal to 7 and x2 is equal to 6. So these are our two numbers. And we have practiced some 4 or 5 questions. So I think you are very much familiar with it. And now let's move to the important part, that is doing exercise. Now you can try these questions also. You can check how much you have learned. Now first example, very important. You have to be very careful while studying this, while learning this. You have to follow each and every step. Now the question is factorize a square plus 7a plus 12, and solution here a square plus 7a plus 12. Now we have to do working, and let me tell you students that this working, it is not necessary to show on your note copy. You can do it on a piece of paper or backside of your copy, or if you want you can show on your copy also. You can do anywhere. We just need two numbers, okay? Those correct two numbers are the necessary, and this working part you can do anywhere. Now working part, this working is done to find the two numbers. The value of value of a is 1, as I have already said. A is the coefficient of term having power 2. That the coefficient term having power 2 is a square. This is the first term and its coefficient is 1, so value of a is 1, and value of b is 7. You can easily see the value of b is 7, is the coefficient of a term having power 1, having degree 1, you can say, and c is constant. Now first thing we have to do is we have to find the product AC, which is 1 into 12 is 12 positive. And what we have to do is we have to find P. The P is 12, isn't it? And we have to find, as it is positive, we have to find S. S is equal to value of B, that is 7. Value of B, that is 7. So P is equal to 12 and S is equal to 7, and there is a confirmation that we have to find two numbers whose product is 12 and sum is 7. We have to find two numbers in such a way that the product of those two numbers is 12 and the sum of those two numbers is 7. Why sum? Ask question. Okay, why sum? Because the product of AC is positive. If the product of AC is positive, then we have to find two numbers in such a way that their sum, their addition will be 7. And from where 7 came? It's the value of B. Okay, now let's create two columns. The word product is 12 and sum is 7. As I have already told you, we always have to start with 1. 1 into 12 is 12. So 12 plus 1 is 13. We have to find two numbers such that its sum must be 7. Right here, the sum is 13. So 12 and 1 are not our required numbers. And let's check with 2. 2 into 6 is also 12, but the addition of 6 and 2 is 8. We need 7. We are getting close to it. I think in next step we will find the number. Now we have to check with 3 also. 3 into 4 is 12. Now what will be the sum of 4 and 3? Bigger number always first. 4 and 3 is 7. That's 4 and 3 are our two numbers. Our two numbers are 4 and 3. We only need two numbers, 4 and 3. If we multiply 4 and 3, its product is 12. If we add 4 and 3, its sum is 7. So everything is matched. Every criteria is matched. So 4 and 3 is our two number. Let's go back to the solution part. Now 7 will be replaced by 4a and 3a. Why a? Ask question. A because the question is in the form of a. 7 has a, isn't it? Now the variable with 7 is a. That's why there must be a. Now 4 and 7, isn't it? 7 can be different. 4 and 3, sorry. 7 can be divided. We can split 7 into two parts, 4a and 7a. As there is a plus sign, we don't have to worry about the sign. It won't be changed, and we can just remove the bracket. You can see here, a square plus 4a plus 3a plus 12. Now this is a factorization of 4 terms. We have already done on type 1 section B. We have done factorization of 2 terms, isn't it? What we have to do is we have to factorize. We have to take common from these 2 terms, and again we have to take common from last 2 terms. Now let's factorize one by one. A square is factorized at a dot a, and 4a 4 dot a. We can factorize 4 as 2 dot 2 also, but I will ask a student to be smart, as there is no coefficient here. There is no coefficient, isn't it, in the first term a square. There is no coefficient, so there is not necessary to split 4. Okay, there is not necessary to factorize 4. Now here 3 dot a, 4 is 3 dot a, and 12 can be factorized in a different way also. But what we have to do is, if 3 is a multiple of 12, then just we can write 3.4, isn't it? So you can see by the color that a and a with red color are common from first two terms. You can see a, and what we have to do with the common value, then we have to remove the common value and write the remaining on bracket. You can see on the bracket, that's a and a taken as common, that's 3 and 3 taken as common, and all the remaining values are on inside the bracket. And you can see the 4 term are here, right here. There are 4 terms. There is 4 term in this here, right here, but it changes to 2 term, and these 2 terms also, in these 2 terms also, a plus 4 is common. So what we have to do with the common is we have to take the common out and write the remaining one bracket. We have to take a plus 4 out, and the remaining a plus 3, you can see by the color also, a red a plus green 3 are the remaining after taking a plus 4 common, and they are on the bracket. And with the line also, you can see that's now it's our answer. So if the answer is correct, then we deserve to get a big smile. So it is just starting. We will do some more questions, some more examples, and you can practice. At the end there is a practice question for you. So let's move to example 2. So example 2, you can see on your screen, factorize 6x squared plus xy minus 7y squared, and solution here 6x squared plus xy minus 7y squared. And let me ask you one thing, will there be any confusion to find a, b and c? I don't think it will be, because we have already taken this topic while were introducing our trinomial, that this we have to assume like it is in the form ax squared. We have to think like that, plus b xy and plus c y squared. If we think like that, then we can easily find that a will be 6, b will be 1, nothing is there, so it will be 1, and c will be minus 7, isn't it? So let's quickly move to the working part. A is equal to 6, b is equal to 1, and c is equal to minus 7. Now product of AC, that is minus 42, which is negative. That means we have to find two numbers whose product will be 42. B always take positive sign, and whose difference, that is b is equal to 1. So b is equal to 42 if d is equal to 1, and there is a confirmation that we have to find two numbers whose product is 42 and difference is 1. And let's quickly move to let's check with 1 into 42, and 42 minus 1 is 41. So 42 and 1 are not our required number. And let's check with 2 also. 2 into 21 is 42. So 21 minus 2 is 19. So it is not, they are not our number. And 3, we can check with 3. 3 into 14 is 42. And 14 minus 3 is 11. So 14 and 3 are not our number. So let's try. It's decreasing, but it's decreasing. 6 into 7 is 42. And 7 minus, always bigger number first. 7 minus 6 is 1. So our two number, we have found our two number, and they are 7 and 6. 7 and 6 are two number. So let's move to working solution part. This xy will be replaced, and instead of xy we are going to write 7xy minus 6xy. Why xy? Because the question is in the form of xy, isn't it? The middle number, the b part is in the form xy, so we have to write xy. As there is a plus sign, we can remove the bracket. We can just throw the bracket out. 6x square, we don't have to worry about the sign. See, We don't have to worry about that. We can arrange this term. Okay, we can exchange this term and we do, or we can do without exchanging also. Now let's factorize. Now here there is no need to factorize 6 as 2.3 because 7 and 6 does not goes, isn't it? They does not belong. There is no common between 6 and 7. Only 1 is common, so we don't have to factorize. 7 is a prime number and 6 is an even number, so there is no common between these two numbers, so we don't have to factorize 6. And here also we don't factorize 6 because there is no common between 6 and 7. Now you can see by the color, this x with red color and this x with red color is common from first two. Now we have 4 terms, so we have to take common from first two term and from last two term also. Now you can see x is taken as common and y is taken as common from last two terms. And there is a big confusion on the student that why this plus sign. And there are two ways to understand it. And what we can do is, you can take common here and you can write the remaining part inside the bracket as we always do, and you can take minus y as common and minus y as common, and while writing this part, what you can do is you can just write whatever you have written here. Okay, whatever you have written here you can repeat that, and 100 out of 100 it will be correct. That is one way. In more logical way, more practical way, or more, and then let me remove this. In a more practical way, let's understand. This minus sign contain minus into plus. Minus into plus is minus, isn't it? Here, right here. So while we take common, we take minus sign common, isn't it? So that means we take minus sign out. What's remaining inside is the plus sign. It is a more practical way, in a genuine way to understand, or otherwise you can just move up to here and without thinking you can write 6x plus 7. Whatever you have written here you can just copy right here. Okay, now our 4 term, it changes to 2 terms. Here are 2 terms, and among 2 terms also you can clearly see 6x plus 7y is common. You can clearly see 6x plus 7y is common. You can clearly see 6x plus 7y is common, so we have to take that common out and write the remaining. You can see the common, it is just a common, and write the remaining part. That's the common, and all the remaining part 6x plus 7y is written inside. And from last two also y is common, so 6x plus 7y is written in inside the bracket. And how it is written I have just explained you. And 6x plus 7y you can see by the arrow also, it's the common part and it's the remaining part. Now that's our answer. If we do any solution correctly, we deserve a smile. So let's move to another question. You can pause the video and you can copy a similar sort of question. Here also you don't have to worry about A, B and C, as we have already discussed. We can easily write A is 3, B is minus 1 and C is minus 10. Now let's find the product of AC, that is negative. So what we have to do is we have to find two numbers whose product P is equal to, whose product P is 30, and P always take positive sign, and whose difference D is minus. D is 1, only 1, it takes the positive value. Okay, B is minus 1 but it takes the positive value only 1. So how we found A, B and C? And we just assume that our question is in the form plus B xy plus C y square. So we can easily find the value of A, B and C in this way. So the product is 30 and difference is 1, and we have to find two numbers whose product is 30 and difference is 1, and we can proceed. Now we have to check first with 1 into 30 is 30, but difference of 30 and 1 is 29. So 30 and 1 are not our required number. Let's check with 2 also. 2 into 15 is 30, but 15 minus 2 is not 1. So it is 13. So 15 and 2 are also not our number. 3 into 10 is also 30. 10 minus 3 is 7. We need 1. 7 is not accepted. And 6 into 5 is 30. 6 minus 5 is 1. So our number is 6 and 5. So we can go back to our solution part, and 6xy minus 5xy. Now in this question we can't remove bracket like in previous question because there is minus sign. This minus sign will do something. So what it does, let's see. Now it does, it changes the sign of the middle term. Okay, so there was minus, and minus into minus, the product of minus into minus is plus. Okay, minus into minus is plus. So the student tends to make mistake in this step many times. Okay, so if you have to be careful right here in this step. You have to be careful in this step. Teachers also just while checking the copy or answer sheet, they just focus on this step and what they have done, what the student have done, and if they have done right here correctly, then there is one more there is one more step where the student make mistake, which we have already explained in previous example also. Now let's factorize. Now here we have factorized 6. In previous example we haven't factorized 6 because 6 and 7 they don't have any common, but 3 and 6 have common, isn't it? 3 2 just 6. So we can write 6 as 2 dot 3, and you can see by the red color the common part. You can see by the red color right here, isn't it? And you can see with the blue color also the common part from last two ones. So let's take common. What we do with the common is we take the common out and write the remaining inside the bracket from first two terms, and we do same with last two terms also. 5y is common, and you can see with the arrow also the common part only. Now it hasn't included y. This y is also included here. So now what we have to do is, again, if there is minus sign right here, then there may be a mistake. But while there is plus sign, there won't be any mistake. So you can do up to here, and you can just copy whatever you have written right here. Okay. Now the fourth term is changed to two term. In among two term also x minus 2y is common. You can see x minus 2y is common, and you can take x minus 2y out, and it is shown by the arrow, and you can write the remaining like this as it is shown by the arrow. Now if our solution is correct, then we can have a big smile on our face, isn't it? So if we practice many times, then these are the easy questions. Okay, now let's move to another example. Okay, try this. There is exercise not example, and you can see you can do all these questions. You can practice all these questions. You can make proper note. These questions will be very enough for you. Okay, now let's quickly move to another example, example 4, and this example will be little bit different than previous example. You can see the power is 3. Now there is another contradiction, isn't it? What we have learned is that a is the coefficient of x square, but right here it's there is 3. So just think, a is the coefficient of any term we're having highest power or first term, or anyway you can assume that this question is in the form ax cubed plus bx square, or we can take common also plus cx. Okay, we can think in this way also. There is no fixed or universal logic for it. Solution here: cube minus 8x square minus 12x. Now what we have to do is working part from a. We can easily find a is 4, b is minus 8, and c is 12, isn't it? Now product of ac That is 4 into minus 12 minus 48. Now what we are going to do is we have to find two numbers whose product will be 48 and whose difference will be 8. Only 8, isn't it? Now we have to find two numbers whose product will be 48 and difference will be 8. Now product 48, difference 8. Now we have to find two numbers whose product is 48 and difference is 8. P is equal to 48, D is equal to, we have to start with 1 into 48. 1 into 48 is 48. So 48 minus 1 is 47. We need 8, so it is not accepted. 2 into 48, 2 into 24 is 48. Now 24 minus 2 is 22. 22 is not accepted. We need 8. We need difference as 8. 3 into 16 is 48. And 16 minus 3 is 13. 13 is not accepted. We need 8. And 4 into 12 is 48. Now 12 minus 4 is 8. Now so 8, there is 8. So our two numbers are 12 and 4. Our two numbers are 12 and 4. So let's go back to our solution part. You can see 12x square minus y-x square, because coefficient of 8 is in the form of x square. So we have to split 8x as 12x square minus 4x square. So there is a minus sign outside of the bracket, so we have to be careful where we have to careful. You can see there, right here, that's the sign, plus sign. Here the student tends to make mistake. So the product of minus and this minus is this plus. It's a product. Okay, it's a multiplication. Now we have 4 terms. If we have 4 terms, then we have to take common from first 2 term and last 2 term. And let's factorize 4. There are 3x, so it is written 3 times. There are 2x, so it is written 2 times. There are 3x, so it is written 3 times. Now why we didn't factorize 4 as 2 into 2? Because we have to do smartly that 12 includes 4, isn't it? So to save our time also, we can write 3.4. Now 4 is a multiple of 12. We can understand like this. No. 4 is a multiple of 12. So we can write in a multiple form 3.4. Here also we can do 4, as 4 is a multiple of 12. So we can write 3.4. Now you can see the common by the color 4xxx, that's common. 4xx, this is common, this is common. So we have to take the common part out, and the remaining part x minus 3 is remaining. Here also 4x is common, so remaining is this x and this 3. Now you can see the common part with the arrow. Exactly, isn't it? Now we have only 2 terms. Here there are 2 terms. So among 2 terms also x minus 3 is common. So what we have to do with the common is we have to take the common out. X minus 3 is common. 4xx plus 4x. See, that's the common, that's the remaining. Our answer is not, our solution is not over. Still there is common in this bracket. You can see in the bracket there are common. The common terms, you can see as I have circled. See, 4x is common, isn't it? Now this is a 4 marks question. If you leave here, you will get 3 marks only. So we have to proceed further to get full marks. So let's do it. 3x, x minus 3, it is written as it is. Now 4x is common. Now from where this 1 came? You have to ask question. If nothing is remaining, then 1 is remaining. Okay. If nothing is remaining, while if we take 4x out, as they are common, this 4x and 4x are common, so we have to take that out here, right here. It is a 4x, common 4x, then nothing will remain here. So student, don't write 0, and if there is nothing, it is a division, it is not a subtraction. So if there was subtraction, then there would have been 0, but as it is a division, then what we have to write is 1. If nothing is there, then we have to write 1. If nothing is common, then we have to write 1 is common. So as we have already learned that if there is nothing common, then 1 is common. But if there is nothing remaining, there is 1 remaining. Okay, so 1. So let's bring that 4x, common 4x in front, and write the remaining x minus 3 and x plus 4, and this is our perfect answer. Okay, and now this is a long question. This is a 4 marks question, and so hope you have understood this question also. Everything is same, but only last this step from here you have to be agile and you have to do this step also. So 4x is common. You have to be careful. You have to look carefully that if there is anything common, then if there is common, then you have to take common. Now try these questions. It's exactly similar type of question. Now one very important question. Factorize. Now the question is totally in a different form, but we will make it simple. P plus q minus q square is question. Now we suppose p plus q to make our solution easier. We are supposing to make our solution easier. It will be easier for us to do the solution to take common also if we suppose p plus q is equal to x. So our question will be changed to so x square minus 11x. Now p plus q, wherever there is p plus q, that will be replaced by x. Now we have p plus q right here and it is replaced by x, you can see, and there is by underline that is replaced by x. P plus q is replaced by x. In this type of question you have to suppose, you can suppose a also, you can suppose b also, you can suppose z also. Here we have supposed that x. Now the question looks familiar, isn't it? So let's go to the working part and find the two numbers. A is 1, you can see, B is minus 11 and C is 30. Let's find the product of AC. The product of AC is positive 30. So after a long time we have seen a sum. B is equal to 30 and sum S is equal to 11. We have to find two numbers such that their product is 30 and their sum is 11. You can easily guess the two numbers. Sum is S. We have to find two numbers. There is, if you can't guess, then there is a procedure for it. Now we have to start like this. Now we start with 1 into 30 is 30 and 30 plus 1 is 31. So that's not 11, we need 11, we need the sum to be 11. 2 into 15 is 30 and 15 plus 2 is 17, and it's not 11 still. We have to proceed. 3 into 10 is 30. 10 plus 3 is 30. It's decreasing. It's nearer to 11. So let's see. It doesn't 30 doesn't go with 30. 4 doesn't go with 30. So we skip 4 and we do with 5. It's 6 into 5 always, or 5 into 6. That 6 plus 5 is 11. So our two numbers are 6 and 5. So what we have to go back to the solution part and we have to write 6x plus 5f instead of 11. We have to write 6x plus 5f. There is a minus sign, so you have to be careful. X square minus 6x minus 5. What it does is it minus into plus is always minus, isn't it? So this plus sign changes to minus. Now let's factorize it again. X dot x minus 2 dot 3. There is not necessary to factorize this because there is no coefficient. 6 we can just write 6. Okay, yeah, I have factorized, but there is no necessary. Now you can see by the color, from first two x is common, from last two only 5 is common. So let's take the common out, x, and write the remaining. Yeah, this is 6. Okay, now here there is plus sign, but here there is minus sign, as I have already explained in previous question. This plus sign is formed by minus into minus. So if we take minus common, one minus common, then the remaining is another minus, isn't it? So you can understand in this way also, or you can take x common here, write the remaining x minus 6 here, and take minus 5 common, and without any confusion, without any worry, you can just copy x minus 6 from here. Whatever we have written right here, you can just copy here. Okay, you can understand in this way also. Our Our first priority is to write everything correctly, and our priority is to understand also. But writing correct will give us marks, and understanding, if we understand properly, then it will be a lasting thing, isn't it? Now let's see the common with the arrow. X is common from first to, and 5 is common from last. So all the remaining is written there, and x minus 6. Now from these two terms also, x minus 6 is common, so x minus 6 is written, and it is shown in the by the arrow, and the remaining is also shown by the arrow. Now this is not our final answer. Our question is in the variable p and q, so our answer must be on the variable p and q. What we have to do is we have to replace our x with p plus q, replacing x by x plus p plus q. Now wherever there is x, we have to write p plus q. Wherever there is x, we have to write p plus q. Now this is our answer. Now this is the practice question for you. Thank you for being with me, and we will see. We will. There is still a one part of algebraic expression. Then algebraic expression will be over. And see you on part 5. This is part 4. And if you have missed part 1, 2, and 3, there will be link on the description below. You can check those links also, and it will help you to understand the entire topic algebraic expression more properly.